So BYSS, they have a thing.
The call out. Yeah.
Yeah. So I go, there's a call out, and then I make the cut. And it's because many people had not found out about it. I make the cut.
Yeah.
And then we go, then I meet other comedians.
Mm-hmm.
So I find out there's a scene that's starting that has alternative comedy. It's not like Churchill-esque vibes. I'm like, okay. So first of all, I didn't do well at that BYSS gig. But I was kind of sort of maybe funny. But then
Did you get to perform in front of people? Or
Yes.
this was, so also you got on stage?
yeah, I got on stage.
Yeah.
I did my
How did it
jokes.
go? Yeah.
Did go well.
Do you remember any of the jokes you
I
told?
remember them very
Yeah.
well.
Can you tell us one?
I remember one where I was talking about how guys only dance.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then how when we are in our 80s and 70s and we all have Alzheimer's,
Yeah.
and then we can't stop doing. So like our grandkids are like, hey, Uka Brayo, what's happening with this? And then I'm like, you guys don't know how good it used to be. So maybe I can tell the joke better now because I've become a better comedian.
Yeah. People didn't laugh.
People are just like, okay, like. And then after me, it was my own day who was coming to perform. It was my own day who had just performed, then it was me on stage.
Yeah.
So guys are like,
What's happening here?
who's this guy? You see, so now,
What is it like to be on that side of the stage and to see people cringe?
yo, there's nothing like that. Let me say, that thing haunts you all the rest of your life. Like you walk around like, is this who I am? Like you eat, you're like, why do I deserve to eat? Like, am I? You know?
Yeah.
You become so philosophical. You know, like as humans, what's our point on earth? You know, like
Yeah.
But I meet other comedians, and they're like, yo, and then I meet, Elsaf and Jora.
Yes. I know Jora.
Yeah, so his late
No
sister.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So his late sister
Yeah.
was came to me after the show like, you know what? I think there's something there, but I think
needs
you're
to
really
be
funny.
polished,
Yeah,
yeah.
but I think people didn't get what you were saying, but I think you're a really funny guy. I'm like, oh, okay, thank you. So at the same time, what's happening? I'm going to church at St. Andrews. So St. Andrews that time they have a youth church, but they don't have a lot of youth yet. So it's still starting out, and they're like, so I meet my friend. She's like, do you mind leading service? So leading service was basically just up next,
MC,
up
the
next,
MC. Yeah.
So PC is a very conservative-esque church. Like
Yeah.
it's not your Baptist, it's not your those kind of churches. Like
Yeah.
there's a way things ought to be
Yeah.
done. So then I'd go, but then no one was willing to do it except me. So I had stage time, like for every month at least 4 times, about 3 times.
Yeah.
But then I used to be very anti-PCA like in my hosting. I'd be like, guys, so don't forget, because PCA is like Disney and we have to sing a song before we do everything. So there's a hymn for the offering. And then guys would be like, okay, who's this guy?
Yeah.
So guys would always tell me, you know what, yeah. So 2018, this BYSS thing happens in 2018. And you know how when we go to church in the beginning of the year, like, please tell God something about the way you want. So I'm there and I'm like, God, there's this thing I like doing. I really like being on stage. I like making people laugh. But I don't know what to do with it. I know it's very obvious now to be a stand-up comedian in my head, but now it did because I knew stand-up. And I'm like, see, but give me something to do with this thing.
Yeah.
I forgot that prayer and I went on with my life. So 2018, so this is August 2018, when I go to BYSS, and I'm not even funny. And then this guy is like, yeah, let's do this. But then I meet guys who are in the scene.
In the
They're
space,
like, there's a place you could come. There's a place called The Blues in town where every Monday we meet up and tell each other jokes, and then we can perform on Saturdays and Saturdays. I'm like, yeah, sounds good. Because Ngong nilikuwa inajengwa hiyo time.
Yeah.
So kutoka Yaya kwenda Ngong was like a 5-hour journey. From like if you could leave at 5, you could end up getting home at 10.
Yeah.
So what I ended up doing was I'd go back to
Town
on Mondays to just chill with the comedians.
Yeah.
So over time, I start learning comedy. I said, it's a craft. Oh, you can get better. We start writing.
Yeah.
So I get like a small gig. Because Mondays are open mic. You don't get paid as a comedian during open mic. You just show off your jokes. And if you're a newbie, no one will ever pay you in comedy.
Yeah.
In fact, you should pay them for allowing you to be on a stage. You see? So you get on stage, you're like, okay. And then my first gig, I was opening for someone. You know, comedy has headliners, openers, and the host. So the first gig I get is a guy called Doug Mutai, So Dago had a show, and then he was like, I think you've been growing well enough in the scene. Come and just do a few minutes for me. So I did a few minutes. That's when I got paid my first comedy money. It was like 6 Gs. No, actually it was 3 Gs. It was 3 Gs. For me, it was the sweetest 3 Gs ever. Nimelipwa joke chekeshana. It was such a, okay, this is a good thing. Yeah, so this is 2018. So then I went back to BYSS because I'd become a better comedian.
Yeah.
And then I became the host of BYSS in a space of a few months. And then I was like, so by December 2018, I was hosting BYSS. And then, but then I got...
How much would you get from BYSS? Whether as a comedian or as a hosting?
20 Gs.
As a comedian?
As a hosting.
As a hosting.
Yeah.
What about
as a comedian, they gave us like 5 Gs. So 20 Gs for hosting.
Yeah.
So all this is happening. I'm getting money from work.
Yeah.
From comedy. Like, I'm in a good space, generally speaking. Now I can even afford to like move into a better house, you know, so I start like now my house, I start buying things
Stuff
for my house, you know, like I'm like, okay, now like, okay, mtu akiingia certain candles ni pesa ngapi, so like, you know, things you never thought you would so ideally, so I think also my lifestyle changed because now I've been introduced to a certain lifestyle at comedy. Now there's a lifestyle change in the way. What if I did like 40 Gs to exist as a person, I probably did like more to exist. You see? Because now you've exposed me to the finer things in life. I can't go back to.
Yeah.
I will go back, sadly, as my story goes. But anyway. So 2019, I think I become, I think towards the end of 20, I don't remember, but there was something called the Nairobi International Comedy Festival that someone was trying to start up, right? So during that festival, I'm like, hey, Itachapa space. And then I was told, there was a guy called Long John comedian. He was from Zimbabwe. Now he's in the States, he's doing really well. He was the guy who was featured. So I was told that when you are still new to this, that you're not kind of funny, vizuri, you'll be the first guy
who'll go up.
Yeah. So that hurt me so hard. Like, my pride was so hurt by that.
At the time, you felt like you had put in enough work.
Yeah, like I thought I was funny. Like, I was like, I thought I had good jokes now.
Yeah.
Then I was told, no, you, utatuanzia, when you utakuwa opener. I hated it. It hurt my pride so much that I became a beast in comedy after that. I was like, what do you mean that I'm... So now I said writing, like, I'm going to be a...
I have a few questions for you there, right? What does it take to be an opener? Like, if you're an opener for a comedy show, what's your job primarily? What are you trying to achieve?
You're the opener... Okay, if you're professional, the opener is supposed to be someone who's really, really good.
Yeah.
But ideally, at that time, let's say, like, what was Jafika Bado? We're hoping more guys come in.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, you just go and... So, like, first your jokes will... And the crowd is not yet warmed up yet for you.
Yeah.
So you're preparing the crowd for the guy who's going to come eventually.
Yeah.
So your jokes are just like, what's it? Even you're here. Oh, okay. You guys just walked in? Okay. Oh, you're like...
Yeah.
An opener is just a guy who... Ideally, they should be a good person. But normally, it's like... It's just the guys before the guys who people came to see. You're a curtain raiser. Yeah. You know, ideally, that's what you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then my second question is, so how do you become a better comedian? And I'm asking, I mean, like, are there skill sets or skill points that you can pinpoint and be like, you need to do this better, this better, this better, this better.
Crowd
this
work.
will make you,
I need to be better at crowd work, right? I need to be better at, a lot of it comes down to writing, but the technical parts of writing. Like, it's now, how fast can I make you laugh between when I start and when I finish? I don't have to give you a long story and then there's a laugh at the end. It's being like, hey, how are you? You know what? The other day, they sold, they got my local kinyozi for selling bangi at my uko kwetu chini. It's weird. Hata sikuwa najua ni kinyozi. You see, so that tap, I need to get you so fast.
Yeah.
By the time you get to, so it's shortening. When do you start laughing? No, and I started reading on comedy. So a lot of guys that time thought comedy was just a thing you became good at. Of course, there's that kind of thing where you're a funny guy.
Yeah.
But then I was like, I started reading books about comedy and about middle creativity. Yeah, and there's a book called The War of Art. Not the Art of War, everyone reads. The War of Art.
Yeah.
I talked about where like art is like a fight. Creativity like a fight. Like the hard part is not coming up with stuff. The hard part is sitting down to write jokes. The hard part is not even you what you do right now.
Yeah.
The hard part is not having the podcast and sitting and talking to me. The hard part is sitting down to let's plan for the podcast. Let's call. So it was like, if you start on the harder parts, this part will come easier
Yeah.
to you. So I started getting really good at comedy now. Now, nimetoka opener,
Yeah.
Sadiko mid.
Okay. Yeah.
But I still don't have my own like ati poster on the face where I can be like, this we have come to see Tiger Shira, you see. But then I got a bit lazy. As when I got good now, because now that it's coming, I got a bit lazy as well. Because at BYSS, I remember I went to a second BYSS and I said the same jokes I had said the whole time. Because that was like, I didn't even prepare. I'm like, I'm good at what I do. Like, I'm just like, and I could see the crowd complain that this guy is not putting in effort.
Yeah.
And that hurt me as well. Because like, professionally, you get hurt when someone says, I saw this guy 3 months ago, he's hosting the same show, saying the same things he used to say.
Yeah.
And guys have come to see BYSS and I'm doing stand-up at an improv gig.
Yeah.
So but the stand-up better be good.
Yeah.
It wasn't good. So I was like, okay. So we talked with Jason. He didn't even tell me that it was a bad job. He just didn't call me to host anymore after that. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
In his defense, I did do a good job.
Yeah.
So now, 2019 happens and COVID happens. So with COVID, you can't do stand-up comedy anymore.
Yeah. At this point in time, are you still working at
Yeah,
the
I'm still
NGO?
working. Because now, put up the jam Gong Road,
Yeah.
I get to go there to escape the jam.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still working in the professional gig.
So how much, at this point in time, what's your net income on a monthly basis? If you'd like to give us an average of how much.
Salo has not changed.
Yeah.
Serious?
Yeah.
But now, I'm getting paid a bit more for comedy. So
Yeah.
what was 5 Gs has become 10 Gs.
Okay.
What was a few Gs here, there has become. So now, let's say per net average,
Yeah.
let's say like 70, 60.
Okay.
60 Gs every month.
Yeah.
70 Gs every month.
Okay.
That's not bad for me. But those are the months which were like down.
Right.
So COVID happens. And now at my job, we start getting salary delays. Because guys have been sent home.
Yeah.
You see, guys have been sent home. Projects are not coming in as well. So some guys are told we are going to start being retrenched and kazi itasoka. But at that time, now niko Nyeri. So Uhuru alifunga nchi kama niko.
Yeah. Yeah.
But at the same time, I can do comedy. I can do stand-up comedy. So one day I take out my phone and I do an accent video. African accents, because I was good with impressions. That was my first viral video. I'm like, oh, come on, this internet thing can work.
Yeah.
But then I didn't think too much about it per se, because in stand-up comedy, there's a rule of you don't post your stand-up comedy material if you're still working on it. Because if you post it on, then you come and watch me do the same, you'll say, oh, Jamaa amerudia joke, blah, 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 blah. Then I'm like, now I'm bored at home. I'm still working, because I get sent work on the laptop.
Yeah.
But I can't do comedy. Then I have some recordings of my stand-up. Let me post the stand-up now. When I start posting the stand-up, guys are like, yo, who's this guy? Kumbe in Kenya, we have this kind of comedy. But I'm fighting with my comedian friends. They're like, don't post your material.
Yeah.
It's unprofessional. It's hacky. Because you know, stand-up comedy is a very purist.
Yeah. Space.
We're not like sketch comedians. Sketch comedians, their primary goal is the internet.
Yeah.
I make like Crazy Kana, Flaco.
Yeah.
Their business model worked so well because ideally I just post stuff wherever I am.
Yeah.
And then guys will come and ask. But me, I want you to spend money on me when you come and watch me.
Yeah.
So I think...
So the fear there, or the thought there was that you'd be limiting your ability to monetize by showcasing your work, because you can't come back and say the same thing.
So it's a very strange craft. But by showing you what I do, I'll make less money.
Yeah.
You see?